Hello everyone, I'm back. It's now 9:18 p.m. at night. Excuse me. So, I feel much better today. I don't feel weak. I didn't feel weak today. Um, but last night I had a hard time and it took a long time for me to fall asleep. And because the idiot nearby kept on doing that tapping, like, even when I came inside after breakfast, no noise. And a couple of minutes later, they started with the tapping. So I this is the second or third time today that in my right ear I just heard the high pitched ring in my right ear. So both the fake Aquarium Doris perp and the fake Darnell Williams perp made fake new accounts to harass me. Um, it's exhausting for me to keep having to continue to block and block and block and block. And they keep making fake new accounts to harass. Excuse me. So, but, excuse me. So, I mean, people are not taking it seriously. For me to tell everyone that I'm being gang stalked and cyber stalked by devil worshippers. So excuse me. And excuse me. So, I mean, they think that they're better because they think that having a better life on this earth and then going to hell soon, they think that I'm foolish, you know, for not selling out. So, somebody deceived them, or they deceived themselves into believing that hell is not all that bad. But if somebody would have tried to set them on fire right now, they would be trying to run. They would be trying to run. You don't even have to try to set them on fire. If a police officer were to try to handcuff them and throw them in jail for their gang stalking, sex trafficking, or human trafficking crimes, they would be trying to scatter like roaches and run. They wouldn't even admit that they're wrong and then surrender and let themselves be handcuffed, you know. Or they might try to act like Darrell Brooks in court. Or probably even worse. Or try to manipulate the judge or something like that. But the judges be corrupt. And I think that it seems like, I don't know about other countries, but at least in America, the USA, every court judge is a narcissistic abuser. And that's why they be so corrupt. Almost every police officer is a narcissistic abuser. But the good cops that they do have, it's rare for there to be a nice police officer. So, I mean, it seems like you'd be more afraid of a court judge than the actual cops. Well, I guess they make the final decision of whether or not you be thrown in prison. But they got a lot of innocent people in prison, jail and prison, who are suffering for so many years for something that they didn't do. But then they got some people who are really guilty. But they have so many people who are running free, who are, you know, it seems like as if they commit crimes and never get caught and think they're invincible. You know, so I made a mistake today. You know, it wasn't, I mean, it was a total accident that I made today. And I just feel really bad about it. Having kind of panic attacks. You know, if you accidentally spill or waste something, you know. But like when I took the detox bath the other day, I accidentally some of the Epsom salt water accidentally spilled on the wasted on the floor. You know, but I don't even know if the sleep deprivation has made me clumsy. I didn't get a full 8 hours of sleep last night. I don't know what time I went to bed. But when, you know, the other day when I took the detox bath, the Epsom salt and all that, some people say that the Epsom salt nowadays is fake. So the Epsom salt, they used to sell it in they used to be bigger and they used to sell them in cartons. And then those Epsom salts, um, they used to look like regular salt, but whiter and brighter and whiter and more clear than regular table salt. But now, excuse me, people saying that the Epsom salt that they have in a bag, like Dr. Teal's, some people say that's fake Epsom salt. And so some certain Epsom salt that I see nowadays, it doesn't look like it used to. It the Epsom salt it the Epsom salt it looked like as if, what do you call that? Confetti candy sprinkles, like the confetti sprinkles. It looks like as if confetti sprinkles was clear. You know, like this doesn't look like the same Epsom salt that I grew up on. And I'm like, well, that might be why the Epsom salt, if I take an Epsom salt bath and it doesn't seem like it works. You know, excuse me. But I got the Dollar Tree, whatever, generic brand of Epsom salt. But yeah, even at Dollar Tree, you used to be able to get like a carton of Epsom salt, and it used to be effective. It used to help you sleep well and everything, and take away pain. Excuse me. So, and I was itching last night even after I took a shower. And I'm itching again this evening and tonight. Yeah, I mean, So I'm feeling kind of restless right now. So next week I heard it's supposed to be really cold in the 30s, you know, and I really will, be having to cry out for help. But if they wouldn't have sabotaged my job opportunity, wait, let's see, what's today? Um, yeah, with that job that would have been at the airport, they said that the first paycheck would have been January 18th. So I probably would have had to ask for help with hotel room or something like that for a few days. And then once I got the paycheck, then I could have been on my own. Maybe not, because sometimes the first paycheck it's less, you know. But the job didn't work out because I mean, well, first of all, um, nobody wanted to help me with the funds to purchase the uniform. And then after that, um, I realized that they never really answer their phone or emails or anything, and they still never got back. They still never contacted me. And then the perps lied on me, called up the airport and lied on me and sabotaged my job opportunity and had me wrongfully banned. So I'm surprised that maybe the airport must have contacted the company and repeated the lies. That Huntley company. So I mean, it's strange that they didn't even call me back, never contacted me whatsoever to question or ask, well, why didn't you show up for work? They never contacted me at all. So that was strange, to have an employer. I mean, I guess the job must not have been meant, but I don't think God would have wanted me banned from the airport, especially with standing up to gang stalkers. Like it was December 15th. They had that. I put it on my other channel. They had that female perp that was harassing me and then she bullied, harassed, and threatened me and was perping me really bad. And she thought everything was funny, and everybody defended and agreed with her and sided with her. She was definitely a perp, and she wasn't just trying to mind her business and charge her phone. They had a whole bunch of other outlets and empty spots, but with these perps were coming to the airport to try to charge their phone right by me or pretend like they're charging their phone, and then put their phone dead in my face, filming and recording me. It was a black lady who did that to me the night before. And she manipulated for me to be scared and not be able to stand up to her. And she did it like as if it was casually nothing wrong with it. And she stood like so close to me with her red phone aimed in my face. But, I was afraid of getting in trouble if I would have put her on film or put up a fight. Now, I'm not talking about physical fight. I'm talking about verbally standing up for myself. That perp goes again with tapping. So they act like they're entitled to every right to you know stand so close in my personal space, right up on me. I don't like people getting close to me or touching me. And then the lady was perping with the red phone. And the whole time she pretended that she was charging her phone, but she had her phone directly aimed at me. Made me feel in front of my, like all in my face, and made me feel really uncomfortable. And then the next day I got sick and tired, and that female, that was bullying, harassing, and threatening me. Only one person gave me a thumbs up on that video out of 164 views. Everybody else sided with and defended her. And she was trying to do me the same thing as the other lady. And so I had a video where they had an Asian perp that had his phone aimed sideways, and they had professed targeted individuals say that any perp who was filming me, and I've heard that throughout the years, the past few years, that when gang stalkers film and record you, or when they take pictures of you sneakingly without your consent, then they're putting you on the dark web and trafficking you. And making a whole lot of money off of you. And they said that, with the arm hanging out the window or one headlight and all that, that is part of the trafficking. So if that's part of the trafficking and so dangerous, why are y'all telling me to ignore that and calling me childish? And y'all feel like for me to put the gang stalkers on film and publicly expose them, then I'm the one with the bad behavior and that's doing something wrong. For me to be angry every day and fed up and sick and tired, and as I said, I've been having daily panic attacks, almost all day, every day, and constant panic attack kind of feeling. And that is psychological, mental, and physically and spiritually torturous itself. Excuse me. So, I want to say on my Targeted by the Psych World backup channel, yesterday I did a video almost 3 hours long talking about, it was the most recent video on that channel when I talked about the family abuse. And I mean, it was a relief and some release and build up tension and my own like therapy to vent, even if nobody cared or nobody was listening. But I vented, and at least I went to bed knowing that I told the truth to the best of my knowledge and the best of my ability and the best way of communicating. And so I wasn't going to spread lies and pass off rumors as lies. I mean, as truth. If I say that there was a family rumor that this happened, then I would say that, But I wanted to say more on the I'm very confused now because I look back on some other videos and so okay, when my twin sister lied on me, it's like the moment, as I said, the moment I came back to Greenville, South Carolina, where I was living at the time, that was when my twin sister called me up and said family members said that I called up. That family members had said over the that I looked at Blake's casket and said, "Good, I'm glad he's dead." My cousin Blake. And I said that, I would have never gotten away with that. And that wasn't even on my mind. And so now my twin sister had been lying for years and saying that family members said it, but then she didn't want to tell me who. So Wyatt, Ramona, and a lot of other family members, they made it like it's, oh, I know why they were mad at my twin sister, Brandy. They were mad at her because of the physical fight or whatever that she had with Mark. But the family was ignoring me and hating my guts for a few years. And, you know, in 2014, all the family was ignoring me. Nobody wanted anything to do with me. I'm like, why is all the family ignoring my calls? Excuse me. And I haven't even contacted Wyatt for a few years. And it's like the entire family ignoring my calls. And like between 2007 through at least 14, I mean, I haven't really done Wyatt anything. Or, you know, or a lot of family members. I was living out of state. So what did I do? So then Brandy was trying to tell me that that Wyatt told her, well, I don't talk to Candy for a reason. And then she said, well, it's better for him to ignore you than to do you in. Then next thing you know, I heard that she got into a physical altercation with Wyatt that led to her pulling a gun out on him. First, she admitted that the gun was real and all that, and that she was about to shoot him or whatever. And she put it live on Facebook. Excuse me. And she was shaking in her panties, afraid that she was going to get arrested or go to jail or go to prison or something. Then she switched her story and lied and said that the gun. Wait, one of the stories she lied and said that the gun was fake. Then she said the gun was real. She admitted that the gun was real, and then she said it didn't have bullets. Then she said that the gun was real and it was on safe. And then she told another lie, and then another lie, and then she admitted that it was real and loaded with bullets, and she was about to shoot and kill him. Because she said something about that during the argument that he said, I don't believe you or Candy were raped. And that she was about to shoot him and take his life. So she keeps lying about that, you know. So if Wyatt had been two-faced about both of us, and Wyatt will forever be two-faced and fake. The entire family is, including her, except me. You know, I'm not, and anybody will say that I seem like the most genuine one in the family. And that's why I've been, like, outcasted. You know. So then, she even lied in stages in 2015. David Jane had called me up and told me that your sister got into a fight with one of your brothers. And I thought it was another fight with Wyatt. But come to find out, I was very shocked because I never would have imagined or thought for her to have a physical fight with Mark. And I heard that a friend of the family, I witnessed the fight or whatever, and Brandy showed me a picture of her face being bloody. And so she lied in stages about that. And then she threw the first lick, supposedly. And then, next thing you know, you know, I heard that Mark beat her up and showed her no mercy. And then But Mark lies too, and Wyatt lies too. Sean lies, Ramona lies. Well, I mean, I don't have that much experience with Derek, but Pete lies. But I bet you Derek lies too. You know, so I've told lies before when I was younger, but me being targeted, I can't get away with shit. So I figure I might as well tell the truth about everything. The best way I can communicate it, or the best way I can articulate it. So it feel like eyelashes in my, I got loose eyelashes in my eyes or something. So excuse me. So then so yeah, like, and then when I asked Ramona if I could come visit in 2015, she acted like she couldn't give me a straight answer. You know, but then she ended up being very, very abusive, and I was afraid she was gonna kill me. And I was wondering what is going on. That it's scary that I can't even be in the same room with a family member for less than 5 minutes without them being traumatizingly violent and abusive, or for there to be a physical fight. You know, and a lot of people on social media are encouraging. You know, but my family members have a reprobate mind, so they wouldn't even think twice to consider the idea of reconciliation and reconciliation, you know, and to try to get to know, you know, the real Candy Grand Prix, or somebody got to really know the real Sean Grand Prix, you know. But the family members, they're all narcissistic and think that they're better, and then there's some crooked and sick weirdos, you know. And the main ones trying to make you look bad, or the actual criminals in the family who who perform corruption in order to get success in life. You know, because no way in hell should the damn actual criminals in the family, have houses, cars, and everything. Like Pete got out of prison with possession of at least 3 or 4 cars and a house to live in. And I've been on forced low income struggling all these years, dealing with off and on homelessness all these years. You know, and so, and I'm pretty sure he committed some kind of crookedness in order to get whatever things that he got. You know, excuse me. And people would even say that they can look at pictures of my family members and say that their eyes look gone spiritually, like there's a spiritual void, or that their eyes look dead or whatever. You know. So if people will say that Mark, Pete, and Ramona's eyes look dead, you know, And then if they would say that, they act like they're scared to say that about my twin sister, they'll say, oh, well, her eyes look just dark. But then people tell me that my eyes are full of light and everything like that. But once they get mad at me and we get into an argument, they will act like a narcissistic abuser and change their narrative and then falsely portray me as a demon when I told the truth about their abuse and manipulation and games and everything. But multiple people say, especially Mark and Ramona and them, that their eyes look dead. I forgot what they said about Wyatt's eyes, but people say Pete, Mark, and Ramona especially. But I don't remember what they said about the biological mom, Frances, but I've been hearing about the witchcraft and the voodoo with the biological mom, Frances, and the biological sister, Ramona, and Mark, and all them throughout the years. And the foster mom, Adrian Felder. People even say that her eyes look dead. So, nobody has ever really told me that my eyes look dead. Like, people, before I even knew about any of this spiritual stuff, you know, when I thought I was atheist and wanted to, be away from the fake IDMR cult, people were saying that I'm full of light, or that they could tell that I'm a child of God. And they say, you just don't realize it. And when I was in the mental hospital in 2009 or 2010, I think it was 2009, and they had this lady was saying that she could tell that I'm a child of God. And I said, nope, because I'm atheist. And I was so proud of saying, nope, I'm atheist. But in 2010 was the first time, like after I found out the truth about the fake IDMR cult, Brandy was the one tell me that that the biological mom, Frances, told her that IDMR is a cult. Like, well, the woman who gave birth to us would have saved our lives spiritually. Well, no, that credit really goes to Jesus Christ. But if Brandy told me, like the day after we turned 18, and that was when she revealed to me about how the secret, like that she reunited with the biological family. And, I couldn't even wait to see the biological mom, Frances. Despite the false rumors or whatever, or the rumors that I've heard that the foster mom put in our head, I was still, anxious and eager to see our parents and the family and see what they look like, And so they had these women in Los Angeles, Long Beach, California, to be specific. When I went to the aquarium one time, and all they had was doggone small fish. It was no way like this New Orleans aquarium. But, the New Orleans aquarium, they had like sharks and stingrays and the big fish and everything interesting I don't know about lately. But anyway, at that aquarium in Long Beach, they had this event where I didn't know any better, but they said that if you donate a toy to kids, then for Christmas or whatever, then you can get a free you can get like a free aquarium, or I forgot what it was, free or reduced price aquarium entrance. And so after that, I think it might have been Toys for Tots or something like that. And so then, I mean, we had to wait in a long line forever. And then these ladies were sitting down to me, and I mean, sitting down by me, and we were talking. And what one of the ladies said that her sisters or whatever was put away in foster care or adopted or something, and she said she was eager to see her sister, and said that she didn't care whether or not her sister was you know, blind, crippled, retarded, or whatever. She said she still wanted to see her sister and actually loved and cared about her sister and would have wanted to reunite with her. But as I said, for us to be, taken away from a baby and then not accepted by the family, but I wish I would have known the truth. I mean, it might have been some truth to what the foster mom would have been saying. Maybe, maybe not. But I did not realize the whole damn agenda. It might have been the case that the biological mom, Frances, was normal. And then after the kids getting taken away, that mentally took a toll on her. But, excuse me, from like the foster family used to smear campaign the biological mom, Frances. And they used to like the foster mom used to tell mental health therapists that the biological mom, Frances, was doing street drugs and recreational drugs. Oh, I mean, sorry, that she abused prescription drugs and recreational drugs. But I did eyewitness the biological mom, Frances, overdose on you know, prescription like psychiatric medications. But illegal drugs, I have not eyewitnessed that. Only one time, in 2005, before Hurricane Katrina, she smoked weed. One time I saw that, but she would smoke cigarettes, you know. But drunk lady Yvonne tried to judge the biological mom, Frances, with that one time she smoked weed. And I'm sitting here thinking, you drink alcohol and get drunk every doggone day. Who are you to try to judge somebody? You got a whole damn alcohol problem. Well, I didn't tell her that, but I was thinking that in my head. You a whole damn alcoholic and you drink while driving. So, I mean, as I say, drunk lady Yvonne, my biological aunt Yvonne, and her husband Daryl, they were both an alcoholic married couple. And I heard that alcoholism is what is why Daryl, like, I heard that Daryl died of prostate cancer from being an alcoholic. And he had to stop drinking. And Yvonne still has not stopped drinking. And this woman, as I said, doggone invincible, like nothing wrong with her. But I'm wondering if she brain damaged though. But they said that the biological dad, Arthur, was an alcoholic. And that he used to ride the motorcycles. And that he nearly died in a motorcycle accident. So he stopped. That's what the Ramona told me. The biological older sister, Ramona. She told me that Arthur was an alcoholic. You know. But I don't know truly what Belinda's relationship, the oldest sister Belinda's relationship with Ramona was. But Ramona waited till after Belinda died to pretend like they were so close with each other. And it could be all fabricated stories, because no way in hell could Ramona have so much unconditional love. She even copied off of what Missy Elliott said about Aaliyah. You know, excuse me. She copied off what Missy Elliott said about Aaliyah. You know, about Aaliyah's brother Rashad said that he loved his sister Aaliyah unconditionally. Excuse me. And it was Missy Elliott said that there's nothing negative you can say about Aaliyah. But Ramona tried to copy off of that by saying there's nothing negative you can say about Belinda. And you just fronting after Belinda's deceased now. And you put on this fake front like as if everything between y'all was so perfect. But the family, they don't even care to try to mend our wrongs and come together and try to straighten things out and talk things out and they telling me don't dwell on the past, but you still hating me from 2001. You hated me and had a certain opinion formed before you can even know about me because my own twin sister told y'all lies. But the foster mom was saying bad things about Ramona too. Talking about that Ramona was the mystery woman, sleeping with the foster dad Al and doing threesomes with John from the Kraft family, and the foster dad Al. Al's not here to defend himself, but Ramona and John, they both denied that such thing ever happened. Because this mystery woman, when I was a little kid, and the foster mom, Adrian Felder, and the third husband, Al, they used to argue from sun up to sundown. Well, no, they both would go to work, but coming home from work and early in the morning, they used to argue, fuss. And well, if me and my twin sister argue, fuss, and fight, that's where we get it from. Excuse me. And I do remember being like 4, 5, 6 years old, and the foster mom used to argue with Al about this woman who he was seeing at Charity Hospital. That's the hospital we were born at. Doesn't exist anymore. At Charity Hospital, And this woman, I remember her talking about him rubbing a woman on her leg or fondling this woman or whatever. And I thought that Ramona would have been way younger. So the foster mom, Adrian Felder, made fake smear campaigns and lied. Lied and said that the biological mom, Frances, the biological sister, Belinda, the oldest, and the biological sister, Ramona, are all overweight prostitutes. The foster mom been trying to brainwash us with that for years. But it didn't seem like the biological mom, Frances, was ever a prostitute. And I don't think Belinda was either. And it's unfair to say that that caught me off guard. The biological sister Belinda was molested or raped and impregnated by our biological grandpa Wallace May. When she was like a teenager. And I heard that he forced her to get an abortion, so that traumatized her. So I heard that Belinda suffered depression all these years. But, it seems like Ramona had been jealous of me and my twin sister from the get-go. And had, and Ramona, throughout the years, acting like she thought that she was too good to tell me, I love you. Just like Monica thinks she's too good to even call me auntie. And she would be disrespectful, abusive, and hateful enough to tell you in a minute that I ain't shit to her. And they have so many family members who think that they're better or they think they're too good. And they shit on me and Sean. But, they were, I guess, able to beat Sean into submission and got Sean acting all arrogant and narcissistic and abusive. Sean never used to be like that. I don't even know if Pete manipulated Sean into selling out. But it seemed like as if Pete was Sean's handler for a while. And pimping Sean out. Well, according to Ramona. Ramona made it like as if Pete was pimping Sean out to women. So, but yeah, I mean, I've been bothered, even though they're lying on me, I've been bothered with the thing about my twin sister lying on me about Blake. Okay, soon as I came back from from the funeral and went back to Greenville, South Carolina, um I think I do remember it being it was a Saturday. Because I don't remember I don't remember if I went down there on a Tuesday or Wednesday. I think it was a Tuesday or Wednesday. And I don't remember if I had to use my own money or if I may have gotten a little bit of financial assistance from a church to get down to New Orleans to go to Blake's funeral. And, you know, for Blake's funeral, Raymond and Derek, they acted like they extra loved me and had some care for me. And Mark was looking all spaced out. You know, Mark, I was wondering if Mark looked like as if he was on heavy drug. I mean, I don't think he does drugs, but I don't know if he looked like he was drugged out of his mind or something. I don't think he was drunk, but, you know, he was looking all spaced out. And I was wondering why were Mark, Ramona, and Wyatt, neither one of them were crying at the funeral. They all just looked like as if they were at a movie theater or something. But Raymond and Derek and Monica and all them, we were all hurt. Rebecca and all them, we were all hurt. Even the other cousins off, you know, Blake and doing Rebecca's dad's side of the family, they were all hurt. And, they had a homeless man that came to pay his respects at Blake's funeral. And so Brandy was not there and Sean wasn't there either. They said that nobody could get in contact with Sean. And I think and Pete was not there either. So now, after the funeral, at the funeral, Monica, Rebecca, and Yvonne were abusive and rude to me. But, for Daryl's funeral, everybody was an asshole. So, but I didn't get to attend Belinda, the biological dad, Arthur, and the biological mom, Frances. I didn't get to attend any of their funerals. But, I attended Blake's funeral, and I was deeply hurt and traumatized, And then, so, Brandy's making up all kinds of stuff. Like, Brandy even told me over the phone before Blake got murdered, she wasn't in contact with any of the family. And she was begging me to not go back in contact with them and say that they're not going to change and that we just have to love them from a distance and stay away from them because there's nothing we can do to, win the family's love. I don't remember. I'm not trying to twist her words, but that's the best I think I remember. I'm just paraphrasing how I think I remember. She said, you know, that, and she was telling me about the family thinking that they're better and light skin for light skin or whatever she was trying to say. And pointing out that Mark, Ramona, and Wyatt, being all close or whatever. Because before Arthur and Francis passed away, like even before Katrina and all that, the whole entire family was dysfunctional. Like Mark, Ramona, and Wyatt never got along. You know, but Ramona will falsely paint me as a horrible and bad person because she can't take advantage of me. But then she tried to tell me that Mark is a very good person and saying that, oh, because me and him have been getting along tremendously well. But you don't even allow yourself or will to try to be close with me and love me like a normal sister. So, what, Brandy lied on me. And like when I got back, you know, from the funeral to South Carolina, one of the first things Brandy told me over the phone was that family members have, said that, and they were lying. Whoever said it, said that I looked over Blake's casket and said, "Good, I'm glad he's dead." And I don't even do stuff like that. And so then, I mean, she told me over the phone right when I got back. And so then I'm like, well, she wasn't in contact with Wyatt or none of them because they were talking about wanting to fight her. And they were still mad at her from over a year. So if it was the beginning of 2015, she had a physical fight with Mark. And then the end of almost 2017, y'all still mad at her or whatever. And acting like y'all want to fight her or whatever. And they were just talking shit behind her back. Because during a time like that, a sensitive time like that, I don't even think that they would have put hands on her or done her anything. Excuse me. So now, she switches her narrative, and it's like, well, Wyatt is the type of person who be sneakily talking to Brandy behind her back. I mean, talking to Brandy behind my back, and then lie to me and say he's not in contact with her. He'll do stuff like that. So if nobody, not even Wyatt, was in contact with her, and I figured that sounded like something she just made up, because I thought that she was telling me that the family all had her blocked, or if she had everybody blocked on Facebook or something, or she wasn't following anybody, and that friends of the family was their Facebook was how she found out about Blake's death. Because if she wouldn't have told me, I wouldn't have known either. Just like nobody told me about Yolanda, but I had to find out through research. If I Google search Ramona, that's Yolanda's one of the first search results that come up, and that's how I found out that Yolanda had passed away. And they weren't going to invite me to Yolanda's funeral. I'm still shocked about that. And so I mean, now, I mean, I said that sounds like, I said Brandy made that up to lie and say, and think it's funny to lie on me and say that I said that good, I'm glad that Blake is dead. And so then she lied on me and said that I went to Blake's funeral just to make sure he's dead. I don't do stuff like that. I don't even think that way. And so then I said that the family wouldn't say that, but that sounds like something more like Wyatt or Sean would say. So now the new narrative is that she lied on me And I don't know if Wyatt is helping her lie on me now. To lie on me and say that I said it over the phone. Or that they were on the phone with me on a three-way. And that never happened either. For me, I didn't even say that on the phone. I never mentioned or even thought anything about being glad that Blake was dead. But she mentioned about having mixed emotions. And she spent more time with Blake than I did. But she, like, when we first reunited with the family, you know, when we first reunited with the family, she mentioned about you know, I mean, everybody was saying that like, even they were making false rumors in the family saying that, oh, Brandy and Blake act like they're more boyfriend and girlfriend or whatever. I'm like, why the hell they even got rumors about incest in the family? And I'm gonna say it again, yeah, this family's weird and they're incestuous. Weird stuff in the family. I already talked about the sickness and with all that in the family. And a lot of times I be forgetting. You know, a lot of times I really be forgetting. So I mean, for the weird thing that I heard that it was Wyatt that told me that Ramona had raised up. It was either Wyatt told me or that Brandy told me that Wyatt told her. I don't remember. Far back as 2003. I just remember one of them telling me that when they made Belinda up the day before the funeral, that Ramona raised up Belinda's dress to see whether or not she had on any panties or whatever, and they said, and she tried to make like she was shocked that that Belinda didn't even have on any panties. I'm like, how would you violate or desecrate your own sister like that, disrespect your own sister, corpse like that? But people were talking about how this family is under, what they want to say, multi-generational curse in the voodoo and the witchcraft and the whatever other weirdness. And so people try to say that I have spiritually different DNA, or that I have the quote unquote God gene or whatever, or that my DNA is not corrupted and that's the real reason why I'm targeted. That's what I've heard people say, But the family has so many secrets. The biological dad, Arthur, was in the military, in the army, and nobody wants to tell me whether or not he was. I mean, I don't even know if Arthur or any of the grandparents on either parent's side, if they're Freemasons, or they hide the family genealogy and the family history from us. With researching your family tree. So yeah, I'm glad I was able to further clarify. Now I feel like now I feel better to try to further clarify, about my twin sister thinking it's funny to lie on me and said that I looked over Blake's casket and said that I'm glad he's dead. Now you turn around and get Wyatt to help you lie and say that, or maybe Wyatt never said anything at all and she just making shit up. So Wyatt smear campaign and told all the guys in the family stay away from Candy and Brandy because they're notorious for screaming rape, and then he will laugh about that. I truly was raped. And I heard that people say that if you're a targeted individual, all those rapes happen because of sex trafficking. Like when I got raped by that Freemason, somebody told me that what he did was he sex trafficked you. And everybody who rapes is a narcissistic abuser. If they refuse your rejection, they will force it on you against your will and against your consent, and then lie and say that you wanted it. They wanted to try to force you, and you don't want it, and you're not even attracted to this person. But for me to, and to deal with a situation where, you know, like when I got raped by the Freemason, I was very sleep deprived the night before, and then went to the beach and not even thinking anything. I was just minding my business, trying to go home. And I had just became a Christian, and some people will say that that was my first spiritual test at faith, or whether or not to have continue faith in God or give up. In the fake Hell's Way Church in Los Angeles, they all turned against me and made lies. The fake pastor Eric himself made lies, false rumors, and smear campaigns saying that I'm a prostitute. So I was raped by that Freemason, and then a month later, an exact month later after that, they had a guy who a Louisiana Creole looking. I think he was Creole, because they got some Louisiana Creoles in Los Angeles too. This guy named Charles Renault or whatever, and I was by Wilshire Western, Wilshire and Normandy, Purple Line train station, and he lied to me, and it's like I was wondering, how did he know? How did he know that how did he know that I was looking for a job? So, how did he read my mind to know that I was looking for a job? And so he offered me this job. No, he didn't offer me a job. I meant to say, he directed me to this place where he said that they were hiring. And then kind of found out, he took me in a secluded area. It was 4:00 in the afternoon. And he tricked me and lied and said that he was going to show me a place where I could apply for a job. And then next thing you know, he took me by some stairs, and then he nearly succeeded at raping me, but I was able to fight him off. And then after that, he kept on, and I don't even think at that time, I don't even think I had an Android or a smartphone at the time. I think I had one of those cheap $10 Net 10 or whatever phones, or a flip phone or something, that $9 or $10 phone or whatever. And I don't know, even when I didn't have a phone, he was able to physically stalk, and he would be an in-person stalker, stalking everywhere everywhere I go, he would show up, and And it seemed like for 6 months after that incident, like from July 2012 all the way through December, he kept stalking me, you know, randomly meeting up everywhere. Like, wow, how are you finding me? And he stalked me until he succeeded at raping me. And then David Jane would tell me about how fake Dolores, excuse me, would, you know, say stuff about me behind my back. And she was unsupportive, and she tried to victim blame and everything like that. And even the next year, I was super hurt, you know, and didn't know how to cope and see, looking online and in person for answers on why this happened to me, and everybody being fake and unsupportive and victim blaming, especially the women. And I didn't realize they were all perps and narcissistic, you know. And then one time, they in the Santa Monica Rape Treatment Center in at UCLA in Santa Monica. I could be wrong, but I think they said Michael Jackson died at that hospital. But they failed me twice. That Corey Goodman lady, she failed me and she betrayed me. And they had this, the RAINN network, they victim blamed me too. Because like when I was living in Denton, Texas, I stayed to myself. And there was it one? No, other than Giovanni, there was a guy named Mario that did such a thing too. You know, but I would stay to myself for quite a few years and not bringing anybody in my house or having really no friends or whatever. But they had this religious stalker neighbor. I didn't realize she was an abusive, narcissistic perp named Euroline Williams that I thought she did tell me she was part of the fake Jehovah's Witnesses cult or some other cult. And she was a religious narcissist and a perp, and she practiced witchcraft. She was from an island called Dominica. And, she was just a neighbor at the apartment, like, right across from me. And, you know, and I did not, she gave me, she left to go to San Antonio and gave me cursed furniture. Oh, that's a whole different video for me to talk about that entire situation. So, she gave me cursed furniture and professed to be a Christian. And one time she tried to tell me it was very disturbing for her to hear me curse. She would even try to control what I eat and everything. And come to my house uninvited and snoop through my belongings. I didn't realize she was a gang stalker or somebody who acted like she delusionally believed she was my handler. This was when I was living in Denton, Texas. At used to be called Zodiac Apartments. And then they changed it to Scott Brown Properties. Excuse me. And Euroline acted like a narcissistic, control freak, fake friend. I should have trusted my instincts to keep avoiding her and dodge her and stay away from her. Hold on, I gotta use the bathroom. Okay, I'm back. It's 10:32 p.m. So I had to use the bathroom. Excuse me. So, hold up. A little bit of water got on my eye. So, I mean, yeah, I heard that voodoo is not just um Haitian people, and it's not just New Orleans people, but I heard that other Caribbean islands and African people, and some people say all throughout the Bible Belt of the southern U.S. is they say that I even heard that there's a lot of voodoo even in Pensacola. And some people say that as much Christianity and serving Christ, I heard that there's just as much, or if not more, voodoo. So, you know, excuse me. And it's been a while, but now I'm starting to have a moment where I've been having pain in my right shoulder again. You know, so, excuse me. So, yeah, I'm really confused about my twin sister, lying on me about Wyatt. But she's trying to say, I didn't even see that video where she claimed, I mean, I saw that the video exists, but I did not watch the video where she claims that she put Wyatt on the phone and that, um, and I don't even know if she met up with Wyatt in person or you know, but in 2021, um, she met up with Wyatt and Derek or whatever, and she feuded with them. And she said something. I do remember her mentioning about how she mentioned that that Derek that Derek said something about that Ramona was trying to blood sacrifice Sean for life insurance. And all Ramona would do is take all the damn money and go gamble it up. And it's amazing how she does all this and she never ends up homeless. And she'll take other people's money and go gamble it up. And nobody calls her a fraud and a scammer. Excuse me. My twin sister's not even doing videos exposing how Ramona would take advantage of me, her, and Sean for our money. But Brandy would try to tell me that drunk lady Yvonne used to try to use and take advantage of her money and all that too. Or for a free phone or whatever. But I thought that Yvonne, hates you so much that she don't even want your money. Or too good to want any money from you, you know. So if Brandy makes so much money, or she gets so much money, all she can get for that GoFundMe. Now, somebody like me, all I could afford to give was $20. You know, and that was all I had to spare. But Brandy had enough money that she could have donated a couple of $100, but all she gave was $20 to that GoFundMe for Blake's funeral. All she gave was $20, but you get like thousands per month. But, nobody wanted to help me with the funds to get down to the biological mom Frances' funeral in 2013. And the same thing with Arthur's funeral. Nobody wanted to help me get down to either of their funerals. And the foster mom, I was still under her control and abuse. Forget care. No, control and abuse. I was 19 going on 20. And the foster mom thought she had the fake authority to restrict me and not allow me to go to the biological sister Belinda's funeral. Before me even finding out about being targeted or whatever, I don't know why. Before the biological parents passed away, I thought I was next in the family. And even after they died, I thought I was next in the family. And Blake came a whole damn shock. But I'm upset and confused or whatever. I know that no family will be perfect, but I'm thinking about what that lady told me over a decade ago, or about a decade ago. No, it wasn't over a decade. It was about a decade ago, approximately a decade ago. And she told me about how she didn't care if her sister was blind, crippled, or retarded. She still would have wanted to, would have loved to reunite with her sister. But if Ramona is so, selfish and jealous, and, but the biological mom, Frances, when she was alive, it seemed like, just like the fake foster mom, Adrian Felder, the biological mom, Frances, used to, not be shy about she was very vocal and outspoken about who the favorite child was. And then Wyatt used to say that, Frances is jealous of her own children, jealous of her own kids, But the biological mom, Frances, she didn't want to see me and Sean getting along and on good terms with each other. So she created a false rumor about us, excuse me, and manipulated for me and Sean to argue, fuss, and whatever, and be on bad terms again. And Ramona did this. She was doing the same thing a few years ago. Excuse me. So if Sean, has like, I don't even know, due to the gang stalking or whatever, if I don't know what they put in Sean's head, that Sean has like a murderous kind of hatred towards me now and wants absolutely nothing to do with me. But Ramona actually did do him very dirty, and he will forgive and try to get back in her good graces and kiss her ass and everything. But I don't know what lies they put in Sean's head, that Sean has a murderous kind of hatred towards me now. Excuse me, And, ever since dealing with Pete, Pete was trying to, but it didn't work with me. And that's why Pete got mad at me. I stood up to Pete. I was scared of him, but I stood up to him. And Pete was definitely a damn perp. Gaslighting, manipulating, future faking false promises, And Pete, when I was by Pete's house for that 3 weeks, he bragged about how he killed a lot of people. And he said it so casually, without any remorse or shame or regret or anything like that. You know, if he said, "Well, I killed a lot of people," he said it more like as if it was just natural, in the same way, the same kind of natural attitude as if you as if he came home and said, "Well, I cut the grass this morning," or something like that. That kind of casual and normal. He didn't really have any emotion or any remorse or shame or sadness. Well, if you killed a lot of people, you never been in jail or prison for murder? Excuse me. And I didn't even realize I was even being gang stalked in Lake Charles for that short period of time also. And Pete kept me, he manipulated and tricked me and kept me just to where I have no choice but to be locked in the house all day. And I knew he would go off on me if he lied on me. If he lied to me and said that he would give me a copy of the key to the house. Well, I couldn't leave the house with no key, and I couldn't leave the house with the door unlocked. You know, so Pete, was committing crimes up in that house. And then he had dirty fingernails and would, have lots of, turds in the toilet, and obviously took a shit and did not flush the toilet. And this happened numerous times where he would be gone to work and I would walk into the bathroom and he got a whole bunch of shit in the toilet with no, he didn't wipe himself. He would have dirty fingernails, and he would lie on me, a smear campaign, make false accusations and lie and say that I never took a shower. So I would take showers mostly every day, I guess. And I think I dealt with some sleep deprivation and the vibrating and all that. And he would be gone all day from 4 p.m. or 4:30 p.m. I'm sorry, 4 or 4:30 a.m. in the morning, all the way till like 11 o'clock at night, and then tell me everything I did in the house all day, but then add in some lies. Excuse me, and he stole $80 from me, the last $80 that I had. And I was financially struggling and felt like I was starving up in that house. And I don't recall having food stamps at that time. Maybe no, I don't think I did, because I had moved to South Carolina. Um, Wait a minute. I moved to South Carolina and they were only giving me like, I don't remember, like $15, 10 or 15, $13, somewhere around there, in food stamps per month. So yeah, I was financially struggling, you know. And Pete sent for me to come down there and made all kinds of false promises and lies. And he even admitted to me that my twin sister had put a lot of stuff in his head, and that other family members put stuff in his head, and that's why he treated me the way he did. He even lied to me and said that he was going to get the Pontiac Grand Prix, and let me take the car wherever I needed to. I had a license. So it's like, I mean, he tried to act like he wanted me to move down there by him, and then acted like he was trying to help me get a job, and even took me to the library one time. And kind of find out it was all fake. And Pete is worse than a narcissistic abuser. I think he is straight up psychopath. The rest of the family, they're like narcopaths and sociopaths, including my twin sister. Like narcopaths and sociopaths. And it's like I'm the only damn empath in the family. And I think Sean was, but I don't know what's going on with Sean anymore. And Sean has like, it seems like he's running around with eternal murder kind of hate anger, right, towards everybody right now. And more like he got this eternal hate anger towards me. And it's like, damn, they even turned Sean into a perp. And another thing about the biological niece, Monica, though. I heard also drunk lady Yvonne, when they argued in 2015, when I got into the argument with Monica, and then Yvonne had mentioned something about how Monica gave people some bad fried chicken for the biological mom Frances repast or whatever after the funeral, and they said that Monica had fried some chicken and that she didn't fry it properly, or that she didn't cook it properly, and everybody got sick. And Yvonne even, she said Blake even got sick and was throwing up, or that everybody was sick and throwing up. And I'm like, whoa, nobody else in the family told me that. But Ramona said that that was a lie. But I don't know. But Ramona likes to cover up and do a whole bunch of wickedness, and then front like everything's perfect and good and great. Like Ramona would treat us dirty and steal from you, and physically abuse and beat on me. She would physically abuse and beat on me. She would steal from me, slander me behind my back to friends of the family, and then always want to take pictures and put on a fake illusion that the family is close. And her and Wyatt, they perform their own dysfunction, but they acknowledge that the family is dysfunctional. But nobody wanted to do anything to help improve the family or make the family better. And my twin sister would try to, if we had to reconcile, she would try to bully me and try to falsely accuse me of fess up to things that I never did, or fess up to things that I'm innocent of. And that will be one hurdle to prevent us from, reconciling or getting back close again. And it's like I was never close with any of my family. In 2005, before Hurricane Katrina, I was trying to get close with Ramona and other family members. And Ramona made it clear that she didn't want to be close with me. But she's like, we're not close, but we're bonding. We're bonding. She would try to talk immature and silly and stupid. We're not close, but we're bonding. We're bonding. But she wanted to keep a distance from me, but just use me out of my money. But Wyatt falsely thought that Ramona just wanted to use me out of information or pump information out of me. But she was trying to use me out of my money. And then Wyatt would tell Blake, hey, Blake, Ramona using the shit out of Candy. Ramona using the shit out of Candy. Blake, Ramona using the shit out of Candy. you know. But a lot of family members would trying to use and take advantage of me. And even in 2016, the 3 weeks when I was by Pete's house, Pete was trying to taking advantage of me. My own twin sister, if I had to deal with her, taking advantage of me. Mark taking advantage of me. Wyatt taking advantage of me. Ramona taking advantage of me. Using and taking advantage. And Brandy will try to blackmail you, manipulate and blackmail you, or threaten you. And Mark would just take it upon himself to just take in front of your face. And then it will be World War III if you try to stand up to him. Or jail threats or threats to get you locked up in a mental institution after you called him out on, stealing your money or taking advantage of you. And when you had enough and sick and tired of it. And Mark copied off the fake foster family with trying to enslave me with chores. But Wyatt and the girlfriend Toya that Wyatt and Brandy fought over, and Blake used to date Toya too from the fake IDMR cult. And that same Toya, and then the biological mom Frances made rumors that Mark and Derek slept with Toya too, but it could have been false rumors or whatever. But Toya definitely had Blake first, and then my Wyatt, and then my twin sister. That's how they roll. I never slept with anybody who slept with any of my family members. I don't enjoy, even though my twin sister lied on me and said I slept with her husband, that never happened. She lied on me and said that I know the exact measurements of her husband's penis, and I don't even care to know that. And I never saw what it looked like, and I never was interested in seeing what it looked like. So she thought it was funny to lie on me and say that I was twerking on her husband or dancing on her husband, and that never happened. I never even fantasized. I never even had a sexual thought. I never even desired Dwayne or China. But she lied on me and said that I slept with Dwayne. She lied on me and said that I wanted China. But she lied and said that the foster mom, Adrian Felder, sexually wanted China. She called me up over the phone and lied. And I'm like, come on. And she was trying to manipulate and convince me of the lie that the fake foster mom, Adrian Felder, sexually wanted China. And then Brandy got her feelings hurt when I said China was ugly. You know, so I'm not even interested in women. So it's like the family, they don't want to come together or make a truce or improve, or if we can have our own private family reunion. You know, they don't even care about the idea of starting off with a new slate because they feel like, oh, that's bullshit. And they have a reprobate mind. Like the drunk lady Yvonne, she has a reprobate mind. Ramona has a reprobate mind. My twin sister obviously has to have a reprobate mind if if she's willfully interacting with the online stalkers, Wyatt has a reprobate mind. And I think that Monica and Raymond, they're so cold-hearted and cruel. I really think they have a reprobate mind too. But think they're so fake smart with fake common sense. So, and so, like, it was the day after Blake's funeral. Rebecca hugged everybody before leaving. And then she grabbed Wyatt's face and hugged him and kissed him on the cheek like as if she really, really loved him and care about him. And then, hugged and kissed everybody else and singled me out. And I was like, Rebecca, what about me? She's like, what? And she acted like she didn't even want to hug me. That was the day after Blake's funeral. Hating me all these years for nothing. But even in 2010, when I came to see the family for Labor Day and I met Pete for the first time, I think that was the first time I met him. But no, he had to have known us when we were infants in order for him to if that's true, if Pete lied and Pete lied and said that Pete told some lie or whatever. Raymond tried to talk like as if he was there, but he only going by hearsay. But I think I heard other family members blame Pete. They said Pete lied on the biological mom, Frances. And that's the real, I forgot what lie he told. But he lied on her about something. And that's the real reason why we got taken away and put in foster care. And I think if we never would have been put away in foster care, I think we would have loved our mom even more, the biological mom, Frances. And I wouldn't be sitting here saying the biological mom, Frances. I probably would be saying my mama. But the foster mom wanted all the credit for being mom, and acting like she had treated us more like she owned, like slaves to be owned, rather than treating us like a parent who loves their children. But now the foster mom, she treated us like slaves and brainwashed us, and she did it for the money. But the biological mom, Frances, it seemed like she was her own cult leader of the family as well. And if they said the biological mom, Frances, and the biological sister, Ramona, were all into the voodoo and everything. So Blake was mad at the biological mom, Frances, somewhere between 2002 and 2003. Before he got locked up. And he was mad at the biological mom, Frances, for whatever reason. Excuse me. And so he tried to burn a picture of her. I thought that burning a picture of somebody would be considered witchcraft. But I don't know. He said he got mad and nearly cried. He's like, man, the picture won't burn, man. She do voodoo. Like, he tried to burn a picture of the biological mom, Frances, and almost, he was nearly in tears, saying that the picture wouldn't burn, and he said that, oh, she do voodoo. you know. So the fake idea Mara cult brainwashed us, well, the New Orleans West Bank branch, they brainwashed us to think that voodoo and witchcraft and stuff wasn't real. Come to find out, it's very real. But I heard being a Christian that's not supposed to have power over a Christian, you know. So, but as I said, both the biological mom Frances and the foster mom Adrian Felder and the biological sister Ramona were heavily rumored, and I think, I don't know about Wyatt, but definitely Mark was also heavily rumored to do voodoo. But I remember my twin sister made false rumors lying on me and said I do voodoo when I know much or nothing about voodoo. But she bragged about that girlfriend, that ex-girlfriend Elsia. She said that she performed a voodoo ritual on Elsia and and had her go to jail or whatever. But I never even try to do voodoo on anybody, and I don't even know any of the tactics or much of anything like that. Excuse me. Excuse me. So, you know, I don't even make a conscious decision to even do anything witchcraft related, and I don't even know that a whole I don't know that much really about voodoo and witchcraft despite being from New Orleans, you know. But I've been affected by people doing witchcraft and all that on me, and there's a lot of stuff that they're doing and a lot of stuff that's going on that I may not even be cognizant of or aware of. Excuse me. So when Blake told me, you're unwanted, what make you think things gonna change, don't come back down here no more. And that's when he told me, now let me tell you something. Ramona is a very evil witch. That's exactly what he told me. So drunk lady Yvonne was trying to tell me that something about in 2017 or 18, I think it was 2018, she pretended to be fake nice towards me. And she wasn't drunk, she was sober at the time. And she was trying to tell me about somebody in the family practicing witchcraft. I don't remember who it was. Not any of my siblings, but some other family members. But all I know is the biological mom, Frances, she looked nothing like the biological grandma, Ruby Harvey. And I guess once she married Yvonne's dad, then I don't know how to pronounce it, Desvigne. But I could tell like that by the eyes. I guess those Super Mario eyes. I think me, Mark, and Sean look kind of like the biological grandma Ruby. You can see a lot of resemblance. But the biological mom Frances looked like her grandma, and I don't think she looks like the biological grandma Ruby. But then some people say that I have Asian slanted eyes like the biological dad Arthur. And as I said, people ask me if I'm mixed with Asian. Nah, that's that Native American and Creole. Especially in 2017 and 18, everybody was trying to ask me if they thought I was mixed with Asian. And trying to talk about, oh, she got those Oriental Chinese little eyes or whatever. People don't use the word Oriental anymore. But in New Orleans, they'll still call Asians Oriental. Well, some people might ask if I'm mixed with Hawaiian or Filipino or something, but nope, not that I know of. As far as I know, Black, French, and Native American. And Arthur looked like he can blend in with Mexican, Italian, Native American, or Chinese. Well, not so much Italian, but um, Native American, Asian. No, Arthur does not look Asian. I mean, I'm sorry. Arthur did not look, when he was alive, he looked more Japanese, not Chinese. But he fought in the Korean War. And Ramona lied and said he fought during World War I. And I'm like, that's not possible because he wasn't born around that time. Then she got mad at me because he was born June 1st, 1931, I think. And the fake Henry Clifford Kinley, 5 days after Arthur's birth, the fake Henry Clifford Kinley from the fake IDMR cult had that fake divine vision and revelation. I'm like, whoa, 5 days after Arthur's birth. So yeah, Arthur, come to find out, he fought in the Vietnam War. I'm sorry, not Vietnam. He fought in the Korean War. And the biological mom, Frances, was saying that Arthur blended in really well with, everybody thought Arthur was Korean. But, Arthur wanted to be considered black. He didn't like to be called the family, they don't like to be called Creole. In the like the biological dad Arthur, we always thought that he looked like the foster grandma Mildred Collins. And his sister Carolyn, I think she reminded me so much of the foster aunt Dana. But Ramona trying to we had an Aunt Marie that died, I think somewhere between 2007 and 2010, one of those years. I was living in Denton, Texas, and I had never heard of Aunt Marie until I heard she passed away. And I didn't even realize that we had an uncle or something that passed away 2022. And then we had an uncle that passed away on our 19th birthday. I almost died the exact same day that Arthur died, November 17th, 2013. I almost died that day. You hear that? You hear that? So, and that's the same day, November 17th, the biological dad, Arthur, he died on the foster sister April's birthday. It was like foster family members died on the same day as biological family members' birthday, or vice versa, or certain foster family members sharing the same birthday as biological family members. I mean, well, the foster cousin Mildred, her birthday is 2 days before ours. But, the foster niece Kayla shares the same birthday as the biological brother Derek. November 11th. And they say that Kayla was born at exactly 11:11 a.m. on, November 11th, 1995. And so Wyatt's birthday is like 2 days after the foster mom, Adrian Felder. And then the biological mom, Frances, died 2 days after Wyatt's birthday. And then the foster grandma Mildred Collins, her birthday was, January 5th. But almost a week later, the biological mom, Frances, you know, her birthday's January 11th. And the biological mom, Frances, shares the same birthday with the singer Aaliyah's mom, Miss Diane Horton. They share the same doggone birthday. And then Aaliyah died on me and my twin sister's birthday. And then her brother Rashad, they say people been saying for years they thought he looked like Mark, but I think he looked like Wyatt, but act like Mark. Excuse me. And Rashad was born in the same month as us, but earlier in the month, but I didn't even realize we share the same birthday with some celebrities, like me and my twin sister. Like some people, I think I heard that Neil Armstrong, that astronaut, died on our birthday some years later. And I heard that we share the same birthday as Blair Underwood and that singer Cassia. And then Cassie, that was associated with Diddy, her birthday is the day after. And who else? Let's see, Blair Underwood and I forgot what other celebrities share the same birthday as us. But you see a pattern with the celebrities either being born or dying on the 25th of the month, or be 25 years old or join the 27 club. Wow, because people think that Aaliyah's brother Rashad looked like my brothers, but then people try to say that I genetically look related to her. You know. But let me see. I don't remember what other celebrities can't think of other than Blair Underwood. It was another celebrity that slipped my mind that shares the same birthday with us. So yeah, Cassia that did the song with Young Berg. Yeah, she shares the same birthday with us, but her fame didn't really blow up. She probably didn't want to do the satanic rituals. And Cassie, her birthday is the day after. And then Michael Jackson died right after our birthday. Or was that his birthday? No, he died June 25th. And his birthday is August 29th. So, yeah, Hurricane Katrina happened Michael Jackson's birthday. I wonder what he thought about that when he was alive. Sean was big on Michael Jackson. But, I think it was Pete and that fake Jehovah's Witness cult trying to manipulate and scare Sean. And Sean was like, well, I don't want to go to hell for idolizing Kennedy. Like he said he didn't want to go to hell for idolizing. Yeah, Pete, I bet you Pete was probably lecturing him about how he going to go to hell. Well, Pete, because you wanted to be idolized by Sean. That's what it is. But people with narcissistic personalities, they want to try to manipulate you to idolize and worship them while they hate you. And then, but if you try to perform some form of idolatry worship on your own without their command, they'll try to act like you're some sick weirdo. You know. So, I can't believe I'm up talking this late. Because I try to put myself on a schedule to be asleep, anywhere between 9 o'clock and before midnight. But I feel like going to bed before 9 o'clock, that's too early. And that would set me up for a night of insomnia. But they have this idiot perp that keeps on tapping They try to be more subtle with it while I was doing this video, you know. And my phone, I need to put it on a charger because it's like at 15% right now. And the time is 11:17 p.m. at night right now. So I'm thankful and glad to be off the streets, you know, until Saturday. And then I'm going to have to be crying out for help because I heard next week the temperature is supposed to be in the early 30s. In the early 30s. You know, and so I heard that they do this to a lot of targets that's seen as like an enemy, um, like an enemy to the country or whatever. They have a lot of innocent people who, I heard that they even have babies, innocent babies that are placed on a terrorist watch list. And this got to be spiritual. You know, imagine if Satan's servants put Jesus' servants on a terrorist watch list. And that we're dangerous people. We're dangerous. And we're just a danger and a threat to the New World Order. And, you know, excuse me, I feel like I don't respect Cat Williams for what he said about rape victims. That made me not like him. But some people say that he's controlled opposition. You know, because they're trying to make like Cat Williams speak the truth. But I haven't heard of him being sabotaged or anything. You know. But people like to mock and make fun of homeless people and say that they're druggies. But people ever talk about the celebrities being druggies? You know, it's only when they lose their fame or when the media wants to ostracize them, and that's when y'all follow suit and copy like you did Whitney Houston. You know, y'all been hating her guts and calling her a crackhead. She was a targeted individual. Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson, Amy Winehouse, Aaliyah, who else? Hold up. I didn't want to, y'all, I didn't want, I was trying to hide, I didn't want to, for y'all to see me, you know, scratching or rubbing my nose because the perps are hitting me with weapons making my nose itch. But once I get off the video, I don't even have the nose itching problems. Excuse me. So that's what they do to targets. And oh, let me see what other oh yeah, they said that I think I heard that the singer Jaheim mentioned about gang stalking. I heard that Al B. Sure is a targeted individual. Kim Porter had to have been targeted. And, you know, whatever celebrities deceased, they were targeted. They had to have been targeted before they, you know, or they didn't want to do evil anymore. And so people trying to make like they're predicting that Cat Williams won't be able to see 2025. That he been more outspoken. And then the thing with Diddy is still, you know, see, they're making my nose itch. The thing with Diddy is still, you know, popularized. Diddy and Cassie, that's still going on. But, excuse me. But Jaguar Wright, I don't know if people are rehashing the old stuff that she was saying, because it does, ever since they set her, she was heavily targeted and they set her up. They set her up with that fake carbonation cult, and she ain't been the same since. But some people say that they still respect her, though. But I don't know what's been going on with her recently or lately. But some people say that Jaguar Wright is a straight up psychopath, or that her eyes look dead or whatever. Well, if that's the case, she probably was participating in the rituals too, and maybe she wanted out. You know. But some people are forced into this as a child. And then they're forced into it as a child. And then, even as a child, forced with that satanic ritual abuse and have to participate in rituals, or else they get tortured even more with the MK Ultra mind control. And then, they're already in so deep. I've heard stories about like Rosie O'Donnell was forced to make a contract with the devil at 12 years old. And I guess the satanic rituals, they do everything God hates. And they think they have so much power. And so, like I heard about the voodoo in his family. And as I say, I don't even really know many rituals. I'm not sure if, I only know a couple, but I don't even practice them. Like I heard that the biological mom Frances, when she would pour bleach on the porch outside or something. And one time we got into a physical altercation in 2010 for Labor Day, and she did try to throw bleach into my eyes. So and I ended up with a contusion. Well, that contusion is gone. It was there for a long time on my right side of my hand. It was there for a very long time. So, but I think at least twice that I can recall that I had a physical fight with the biological mom Frances. And I feel really terrible about how poorly I got along with her. But even in 2005, before Hurricane Katrina, I was trying to get close with her too. Even in 2007, I tried to get close with her. But she was perping me by doing stuff like urinating in my car on purpose and then pretend that it was an accident and then gaslight me. Or she would, on purpose just to make the car not new anymore. And she would give me like pissy blankets to sleep on at her house. when I spent it. Oh yeah, I never lived with the biological mom, Frances, but I think in Denton, Texas, I think I may have spent a few nights at her house and at her apartment. She was living in a senior citizen disabled apartment with the biological dad, Arthur. So yeah, but then in 2015, Ramona copied off of her with that and took it a step up and was giving me pissy and bloody blankets to sleep on. And the biological mom, Frances, used to urinate in Mark's car. I did not know that the biological mom, Frances, from having so many kids, I think I heard that weakened her bladder or something like that, and I didn't know she had a bladder problem. I thought she was doing it on purpose. And I really apologize. I'm really sorry that, I'm really sorry for how I treated her. Because I was brainwashed to think a certain way about her because of what the foster mom put in our heads. Just like my twin sister is brainwashed to think a certain way about me because of what the foster mom put in her head. The foster mom, when the biological mom Frances threw me out in 2002 February, and the foster mom Adrian Felder got mad at me when, you know, and then, you know, the um the foster mom Adrian Felder said, "Crazy people can't even tolerate your ass." When, I didn't know where else to go, and it seemed like with the foster mom, it seemed like I was always running back to her, or felt like I didn't know where else to go. But, you know, and if I didn't listen to or wasn't brainwashed with the foster mom put in our heads about the biological mom, Frances, I'm wondering if that would have improved my relationship with the biological family. Even though the family, not just the biological mom, Frances, or any of us, but the entire family would be on some weird ass shit. Like, weird. You know, some of it's too embarrassing and humiliating. It's too shameful to even talk about. But no way in hell should anybody be exercising authority over me and trying to control and abuse me. At that they go again with the tapping. Trying to exercise authority or try to control and abuse me or restrict my life, and I'm 40 years old. Nobody, if I'm 40 years old, if Monica doesn't have to answer to anybody at 37 or however old she is, or um, why at 40 should I have to have people to answer to? Especially people who don't have my best interests at heart, that don't mean me no good, or if you feel like you don't have to help me out, why should I be obligated to listen to you trying to control my life decisions and abuse me? And why am I not allowed to stand up for myself or stand up to your personal tyranny against me, you stealing my rights? Because I know nobody tells Raymond what to do. You know, nobody tells Derek what to do. But people, they try to tell me and Sean what to do. And now and then, I guess people still be trying to control my twin sister, so she ought to know what it feels like. And I have tried to reconcile with her and try to get the truth to her that we have been brainwashed. And they don't call me a conspiracy theorist, but they'll dismiss me as crazy. And they've been calling me crazy long before I found out the truth. Now, when I was little, they used to say I was smart. Because I used to ask so many, and then they used to get irritated talking about me asking so many silly questions. I was 4 years old. What does a 4-year-old inquisitive baby, know about? I mean, what I told you about asking me all them silly questions, all them stupid questions. And people used to say I was so smart. But now, you call me crazy for being so inquisitive. And I heard about the Bible saying knowledge is increased. Now, how, knowledge is increased, but everybody got dumber. And I heard technology is the reason why knowledge is increased. With social media and everything. Like, people feel like they're learning more on social media than we learned in school. My nose keeps on itching. And I don't even have it. I don't think I have any dry skin or dandruff. But, so, I mean, they had people in the so-called TI community that unfollowed and blocked me on TikTok for nothing, for no reason at all. Even on Twitter and on YouTube, it's hardly any. It's seldom really any real TIs left on YouTube. Now my phone is saying I have 10% battery. But yeah, I'm feeling anxiety about next week. So what if somebody tell me nobody has to help you? And then next thing you know, you find out the next day, the same person who told me people don't have to help you, then the next day you find out I died out in the cold weather. Or died out in the rain or tornadoes or whatever. But that's fucked up what they do to us targets, that they sabotage anything cheap and affordable and force things to be like 50 and 100 times more expensive. I heard that if you have a car and you target it, sometimes that they will fuck up your car, mess up your car on purpose to make your car repairs way unnecessarily more expensive. And the same thing with having a place to live or your house. If you're a homeowner and a targeted individual, it wouldn't be by natural calamity or hurricane or whatever. It would be subtly and gradually manufactured via gang stalkers, that they would do stuff like put holes in the roof of your house, or find covert ways to clog up your drain, or put poisons in your house, pump up your house with a bunch of chemicals, hit your house with directed energy weapons, hit you with directed energy weapons. And then you have to be held responsible for repairs. And that makes everything more expensive for you as the target. Or, they would even find ways to make eating meals to be way more expensive than it could be. You know, so as I said, that $213 a month that I could have still been there and paying that. And my plan was to reward myself with coming home to New Orleans just for like maybe a week visit and not even visit family. But just like maybe go to a hotel or a motel or something and then just enjoy New Orleans for a week. And then go back to Pensacola or whatever. But who knows what damage would have been done. Like sometimes I've had moments where neighbors would be fine and normal. And then I would go out of town for some time and then come back and the neighbors start acting like perps. Or vice versa. I've had moments where if I lived somewhere and had roommates that act normal and then they go out of town and then come back acting all very weird. Like a whole different personality. So hold on right quick. So I hope this works because I just put my hold up. I just put my phone back on the charger. It says your battery is running low. Some features may be limited. So so now it's still 11:40 tonight. So it will be tomorrow, January 10th, when the video upload is done uploading. But I felt like from my twin sister lying on me and then switching her story about Blake and stuff like that, that pretty much was psychologically and mentally bothering me. And so I felt like I could not rest unless I went to clarify, everything as best as I know how. As I said, my own family members be doing dirty stuff and conspiring behind my back. They like my own twin sister smear campaigned me to my neighbors in Los Angeles. And they didn't start to act like weird perps until after she got in their head and told them who knows what. And then my neighbors waited until before they moved. Right when they moved, that's when one of the neighbors, Mr. Ron in Los Angeles, he confessed to me that my twin sister called him up and told him a bunch of lies about me. Because all my neighbors in Los Angeles, they used to love me. And then even the ones that claimed to be Christian, they started to act like an abusive, narcissistic perps. And they started to all act weird around the same time. The neighbors that lived in that little triplex and duplex. And I lately still been having dreams about that place. Even before I moved into that apartment in Pensacola, I kept on having dreams about moving back to 8504 McKinley Avenue in Los Angeles. And it was named after a man. I think his name was William McKinley or something. McKinley. And that was the only place I could live at. Now, when I was living in LA, I was by Westlake MacArthur Park area. And when I was searching around in late 2011 for Section 8, and the man, it was a Hispanic man, and he wanted, um, he was trying to charge more than what my Section 8 allowed. So that's why I couldn't get that place. And then all these other places, I even tried Lamert Park and these other places, nobody really answered their phone. But that money hungry Geneva Hildreth, that was like 84 fucking years old or something like that. And she was an abusive narcissistic perp that's part of the fake Jehovah's Witnesses cult. And she was fraudulently and illegally living in a 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom house in a nice area in Inglewood. And she, I mean, and you know, she was coercive and money hungry and tried to take advantage of me and stuff like that, you know. And even even the landlord, well, she was considered the landlady, but the actual owner was Sam Barreta, who lived in Linwood, California. Sam, like, when the neighbors turned against me, Sam turned against me too. And I think I only met his wife, Sandra, one time. So Sam started to even act like a perp. Well, he turned into a perp, and it's like, damn. If Miss Geneva Hill just said that Mr. Sam and his wife, that they're not any money hungry people. Well, if they got Sam to participate in gang stalking, then Sam had to have because Mr. Sam used to love me. And he used to be very nice and respectful. Never had an issue with him. When I had an issue with something being messed up or broken, he would be right over there to fix it, like in an instant. But after he started to act like a perp, he started messing stuff up on purpose and then blaming me. He fucked me over so bad. So bad. And it was a fake perp script for him to lie and tell me that I'm the worst tenant. That they tortured me with direct energy weapons so bad that I was forced to have to break the lease. And then he lied on me and ruined my credit. My credit score went from 699 to 630. And I was right on the money, almost on the verge of good credit. And it took 7 years for my credit to be raised back up to normal again, or quote unquote good credit. Because at first he lied and said that I told him about the vibrating, and I didn't realize he was a gang stalker and that he was in on it, part of it. And they would gaslight when I was living in Los Angeles. They would gaslight, and I think perps were entering my home at night when I would be sleeping. And like, how do I wake up with all the cabinets open? I know I didn't do it, and I would close the windows at night. How do I come home? I'm sorry. How do I wake up the next morning with all the cabinet doors open? Or if I would leave and go to the library and then come back with all the doors open in my house. Doors wide open. I know I didn't do it because I know I made sure to close and lock the doors. And the neighbors would tamper with my mail or hide my mail from me or gaslight. And Sam would do stuff like put the trash that he would fix on the garage, one of the garages, or fix on other apartments, and then put or the house or whatever, and he would put the trash all into my dumpster and then the price for, not dumpster, I meant to say trash bin or whatever. And then my garbage bill with the SoCal gas, my water, trash, and sewer bill. No, I didn't have to pay water. Um, I had to pay electricity and then trash and sewer or something. Trash or water, trash, or sewer or something. I don't remember. Um, but the SoCal gas, um, my bill was started to triple at least. And Sam wasn't putting garbage in other neighbors' trash bag, just mine. And then um, when I was living in LA, it was after my twin sister lied on me though. That was when all this shit started happening. Dealing with neighbors putting smushed dead birds or animal doo doo right on my front doorstep. Um, they will all enter and exit through my gate, not their own gate. And then they would do it on purpose, and I would have panic attacks. And then they broke the knob on the gate, and Sam didn't want to fix it. But if it was 2012, oh, he would have been right on it, right when I told him, even if it wasn't in the emergency. See, they're tapping right now. They're tapping. So, yeah, that's why I said I had to yell at him. Stop! See, I can hear it, but I don't know if it's picking up on the you have to put earbuds in and raise up the volume, but they're trying to I know y'all heard that just now. Could you imagine somebody doing that all day and all night? So, yeah, so what I wanted to say was, you know, I thought about, being so down and out. Um, I thought about going to Yvonne's house, but that it was the day that I saw Raymond later on, that like an hour or so later, but I wasn't going to follow through with that thought, and I was militantly determined to stay away from the family. And, and then I so happened to see Raymond later on, and I didn't even tell anybody. Well, hey, I'm thinking about going by my aunt's house. No, you know, a thought just ran through my head, you know, and then I was gonna stay away from the family, but with it being so, when the online stalkers lied on me and got me wrongfully banned from the airport, and it was so cold that night, you know, I panicked, and out of desperation, last resort, I took that risk of going by Yvonne's house. But, you know, I gave her no reason to treat me the way she did or do me what she did. And she's just nasty like that. You know, excuse me. So I had to suffer out there, you know, being extremely fatigued, tired, and sleep deprived, and freezing cold. And I was supposed to have started to work that next morning. As I said, I went over by Yvonne's house out of, you know, last minute panicking, you know, and then a couple of days, later, saw Monica, or somebody that looks like strongly like that's Monica. I mean, the white skin, the lips, and donkey mouth, lips, whatever, all that looked just like Monica. Arrogant mannerisms and everything. Yeah, that was her. I didn't even know that Raymond and Monica even go to the Riverwalk. But they probably went there to gang stalk and surveil me. As I said, Raymond's girlfriend or whatever old lady he was walking with, she was purple with red socks. Wearing anything but red, but the only thing that she's wearing that's red is her socks. And then, as I said, the majority of the family have red fucking cars. Even Daryl Garnett's side of the family were abusive, narcissistic perps. Daryl Garnett's sister, June Larche, her kids, abusive, narcissistic perps who hate me and avoid me for no reason. They call her Lil Francis. And Kenneth Jr., they all hate me and against me and act a certain kind of weird because of false rumors that they heard Daryl Garnett's niece and nephew on the other side, on his biological sister's kids. But he calls me niece. That's Yvonne is his wife. I am her genetic biological niece. But her and the biological mom, Frances, they are half-sisters, maternal half-sisters. They don't have the same dad, but they got the same mom. But Ramona, keep away my Aunt Lisa and Aunt Betty. And I think I heard we have an Uncle Carl. Now Wyatt, in 2022, he showed me a picture of our Aunt Lisa. She looked identical to the biological mom, Frances. Now, like, that ain't the same light-skinned 10-year-old girl that they showed me the picture. And now she's a grown woman in brown skin. I'm like, whoa, she looked like her and the biological mom, Frances, could be twins. Identical twins. Wyatt showed me a picture and laughed and thought it was funny. Like, he think everything is funny. Raymond and Ramona, they think everything is funny. Monica, a lot of the family members, they ignorantly laugh and think everything is funny. And Lanika from the Masonic Smelly Craft family and Hellface Shelley from the fake Foster family, yeah, they all ignorantly laugh. And fake Shelby from the fake Foster family, they all ignorantly laugh and think everything is funny. They love to laugh at people's misfortunes. But World War III, if you laugh at their misfortune in World War III, they will create World War III.5. If you laugh at them, give them a taste of their own medicine and laugh right back at them. Just like my twin sister would not be able to handle it. She would have had a freaking nearly suicidal meltdown if Yvonne would have did that to her, especially if she didn't do Yvonne anything. But my twin sister sitting there fucking laughing at me. But she wouldn't be able to handle it if she got treated like that and out in the cold with nowhere to go. Like, how do you have no sympathy, empathy, or emotion towards your own twin sister? And people say that that's proof that my twin sister sold out because they say that and they say it's proof that my family are perps because it's not natural for them to want me out there on the street starving or with nothing, out in the cold with nothing. You know, in the last week of December of this past year, 2023, I had to go a couple of days of, having no dinner to eat. Or maybe lucky if I could get a bag of chips for dinner. And I'm like, wow, this is really bad. But they sabotaged my job opportunity. I could have been working. I could have been just getting off from work by now. Or today could have been an off day. But people, like even my own family members, don't have a natural kind of love for me. And they don't even want me to live. Or they can care less of whether or not I'm alive or dead. But any kind of fake mental health, any kind of welfare check they would do, or missing persons report, it would come from a fake mental health control kind of perspective, not a family and love kind of perspective. Now, one time Wyatt, Ramona tried to make it like she couldn't get in contact with Wyatt. In 2015, 16, 17, somewhere around there, I was still living in Greenville, South Carolina. I think it was 2017 before I came down there. Before I came back to New Orleans. And Ramona tried to say, well, why he know that they got people who care about him? So why would he go all this long without letting nobody know his whereabouts? But the family would not question my whereabouts when I was, none of them care to check and see if I'm okay. They don't care about birthday or anything else. They don't check to see if I'm okay. They're not concerned about my well-being or whereabouts. They only pretend to fake care about my mental health out of an attitude of narcissistic fake self-righteousness and power and control. They don't even care. They don't even have any love for me. And my twin sister said that back in 2012, 13, 14, that she went to visit, New Orleans from wherever she was living at. And I was living in Los Angeles. And she laughed on the phone, towards me, saying that Yvonne was asking her about me. And she tried to say it in a mocking, laughing way, trying to say that Candy moved to Los Angeles because she feels unloved or she feels unloved by the family. And she tried to mock and laugh about it. But I'll say one thing. My twin sister has never a day in her life been loyal to me. But she cared about being loyal. She admitted to me one time about wanting to be loyal to Mark and Wyatt because of them being light-skinned. But she felt like she owes me zero loyalty. Because I'm not light-skinned and I'm seen by society as retarded and crazy. She felt like she never owes me any loyalty. But she smear campaigned and lied on me to the TI community and the so-called TI community believe her lies. And only a couple of people were able to see through her bullshit. But they were deceived about me and falsely made it like as if, oh, I see right through Candy bullshit, when it's the opposite way around. My twin sister is the one that's an infiltrator and a fake. While I'm sitting here suffering and struggling even harder. My twin sister has always sabotaged my relationships and friendships with people. You know, I had lost, a lot of so-called friends in the TI community were brainwashed and started acting like perps after listening to my twin sister. And even what I said about the neighbors in Los Angeles, I was wondering, is my twin sister that powerful? That is she powerful and rank up in the Freemasonry or Order of the Eastern Star or witchcraft or whatever to offer people deals to stay away from me? Because Miss Samantha, Darius, Monique, and all of them, Michaela, 144 Calicade, all of them, um, and it's more people that I can't even think of, you know, targeted Madison, who I call her fraudulent Madison. Um, they all quickly betrayed me and went along with my twin sister's lies. You know, and it's disappointing because if y'all speak against Freemasonry and Satanism and satanic hand signs and all that, and the gang stalking, but then you turn around and perp me, and then lie and say that I perped you, and you don't even have any proof. You know, but for y'all to and Tony H, that's another one, and Tony White also, all of them narcissistic control freak fake TI perps that they know what my twin sister was about and warned me about more stuff with my twin sister, and then secretly going behind my back and willfully go excuse me, and willfully, but see, Trisha was already a perp. Trisha was already a perp, and they probably already were perps too, the others that I mentioned. But it's like, and even Darius was smear campaigning and lying to people, telling everybody stay away from Candy and don't talk to her. Now, if you're a saved Christian, you wouldn't do stuff like that. But come to find out, he was a closet Black Hebrew Israelites cult member and a religious narcissist. But it seems like Darius is, younger than me, and his mouth is so abusive. And I still haven't healed from what he did to me alone. That abuse alone, that fake friendship, still have not fully 100% healed from it was mind-boggling because I thought you were a truther. I thought you were, and I thought that you would never. He would have been one of the last people on the face of this earth, other than myself. One of the last people who I thought would sell out. And then he was using projection the entire time. He got scared and sold out at the right price. At the right price. And then projected that onto me. And then smear campaigning and lied and falsely accusing me of having Black Widow syndrome or something, or falsely accused me of being a CIA agent. I don't even have connections like that. But he has inside gang stalking knowledge. He got insider knowledge on Freemasonry and gang stalking, and insider knowledge on Hollywood. And claimed that he was in the Hollywood industry. But somebody who's so highly delusionally believe that they are above God, you know, and people who start off normal and then slowly and subtly just start to be more and more narcissistic and more cold-hearted, cruel, and abusive, and faker, and more fake and more abusive. And then Darius started linking up with my twin sister and everything. When at the beginning of the fake friendship, he told me, don't go look back on your twin sister's page. Well, you don't tell me what to do. You're not family. You don't even know me. And then when fake TI perps and regular perps come on my page with fake new accounts to harass me, then Darius got mad at me. And then he started to become more controlling and abusive. And they got so many people in the so-called TI community that's more narcissistic, controlling, and abusive. And the ones who say that they're Christian, more narcissistic, controlling, and abusive, and harsher perps than the regular perps. And it hurts worse than family. When people that's supposed to be Christian, their abuse hurts worse than family. And I thought family abuse hurts the worst. And my twin sister was falsely smear campaign me as one that's not loyal when she don't even know the entire or the whole story or the real story, and she would try to take the truth and spin it into a lie and then think the shit is funny. But I'm not shutting up. As I said, my twin sister never been loyal to me since day one. Never. And feels like she owes me zero loyalty. But thinks that she's an authority figure over me while wanting my life destroyed. Wanting me undeservingly punished behind nothing but lies she created. An abusive, sadistic bully. I'm pretty sure it's past midnight right now. Yep, it's 12:10 a.m. in the morning on Wednesday, January 10th, 2024. I almost said 23. So, since I don't have anybody really to talk to, or anybody supportive to talk to, I'm just talking out in the open. This is my doggone therapy. My emotional release. And I speak the truth whether I'm in a hotel room or on the streets. But I have been so fatigued and tired from being on the streets, Imagine all your finances sabotaged, and then the gang stalking network, they sabotage your finances and then force everything to be way more expensive for you. And I heard that professor targeted individuals say that gang stalkers keep us broke because if we had enough independence and money, then if we could have enough money to win lawsuits or have enough money to protect ourselves or end the torture and while we stay alive, and they can't be as powerful. So they destabilize us and make us as powerless as possible, even if they gotta make us starve or force us to be so poor that we can only afford to eat food that has no nutrition. Then they can attack us even harder, and then we got more medical bills and more sickness, and they kill us off even faster. you know, and keep us days of sleep deprived and make us more hypersensitive and more irritable and moody, you know, and more non-functional, so that people can keep up with the false narrative that we're on drugs or that we're crazy or whatever. But I've been called crazy long before I found out the truth of anything. But once I found out the truth about the Illuminati and the New World Order, and quit psychiatry and found out the truth about psychiatry, the New World Order, I found out the truth about the fake RDMR cult, broke away from all that, and then they really got mad. But I didn't even know my twin sister felt so passionate about the fake IDMR cult. But she's copying off the fake foster mom Adrian Felder with using, the fake IDMR cult attendants to manipulate manipulate and control other people. So Brandy wanted brownie points and bragging rights that she manipulated Derek and Ramona and forced them to go to the fake IDMR cult before. But they claim to believe in Jesus Christ, but they do the devil's work and gang stalk. Ramona does the devil's working. She's a perp. Just like Yvonne seemingly never has to suffer, Ramona doesn't even really have to suffer. But they sit there and make everybody else suffer. Or everybody around them suffering. But with the biological mom, Frances, I was, I guess, always the least favorite child. Like, I was the black sheep scapegoat of both the foster family and the biological family. And the host mom in Costa Rica was, I think that they had brainwashed her before I got to Costa Rica. And the host mom in Costa Rica and her son Mariano, they didn't like me. They had a certain opinion about me because I think fraudster, you don't deserve to be called doctor. Elaine Brooks from University of that abusive, narcissistic, fake perp, white lady who delusionally believes she's Mexican. Elaine Brooks, she had brainwashed, a lot of people in the Spanish department to hate me. She was abusive and narcissistic. And she, brainwashed everybody to hate me in Costa Rica. The best thing I got along with in Costa Rica was nature. Nobody in Costa Rica liked me except only the Afro Costa Ricans loved me and embraced me. But I think I heard there's racism and colorism in Costa Rica as well. The Costa Rican mom and son, they were the complexion of white people pretty much, but they had more like curly hair. Soft but curlier hair. But even the host mom in Costa Rica, she didn't really know any English. But whatever lies they manipulated for her to think I'm crazy. But all throughout my life, ghetto narcissistic abusers would tell me that I should not worry about what other people think. But I've had so many opportunities, so many doors in my face shut because of what people think about me. So many opportunities I was forced to, that people rejected me, and I was forced to miss out on because they rejected me to participate in such and such opportunity because of their opinion about me. And I did not realize after all these years that they did this, that because they're narcissistic and it's because of the gang stalking. Um, Now they have people who claim to be targeted individuals, and they talk about how people shouldn't believe the slander. Okay, well, why, if you're targeted and going through the gang stalking, why do you believe slander about me? And they got some people profess targeted individuals that just block, ignore, and stay away from me. And I mean, even the so-called TI community, because they got fake TI perps that be the popular fakes, that sold out. They be narcissistic and they smear campaign and try to manipulate people to think a certain bad thing about you. Just like you ain't no better, you no different from the regular perps doing this. Excuse me. So, and they have regular perps that pose as TIs and manipulate genuine Christian TIs to avoid and stay away from me. And lie to them. And they believe it. So it looks like, as far as I know, it looks like it doesn't even look like I can get a permanent place to live anymore. And I'm from New Orleans, and natives and non-natives trying to falsely make it like as if there's no room for me here, and that I should go back to where I previously came from. I'm from here. I have my birth certificate proving that I'm from New Orleans. How dare any of y'all to say that I should go and live somewhere else? Or I just got back to New Orleans, y'all already telling me you should go and relocate somewhere else. You ain't gonna tell me that I should relocate to somewhere else other than my hometown. I just got back here. And that fake ass Kenita Grooms Williams lady, I thought she wasn't a New Orleans native, but come to find out she is though. But she shouldn't have that fake authority to tell me that there's no room for me to live in New Orleans. When, and then she tried to say it's unfair to the homeless people who were already here. Well, you block and ignore all my calls and stuff like that. I've been quit calling her a long time ago. But she blocked and ignored my calls to show she don't give a damn about me. But she's Masonic and part of a fake sorority. So she'll definitely be associated with the gang stalking. None of y'all have any authority to make it like as if shouldn't be welcome. Even if you're my family, you don't have the authority or right to tell me that I shouldn't be in New Orleans. And Blake was younger than me, telling me don't come back down here. But he would have been hurt if he came from Houston, Texas, and the family told him go back to Houston, or we don't want you here. But Yvonne is like the only family member I know. Her and her oldest son, my cousin, they're the only ones that I know that live in the 7th Ward now. So other than going by their house, I don't have much of any reason to go in the 7th Ward or the 9th Ward. And if it weren't for Ramona, a couple of years ago, I would not have gone to the 9th Ward or the 7th Ward. So, I mean, in that buttermilk drop place, that might be the only place in the 7th Ward that I might go. But, I mean, you wouldn't catch me going there that often, Other than that, I don't have any reason to go to the 7th Ward. you know. And Ramona used to live in the 7th ward for many, many years. Many years. And the biological mom, Frances, was living in the 7th ward also. Frances and Arthur, you know. But we got taken away and put in foster care. I mean, 2737 Allen Street was the house that's on our birth certificate that they said that was the house that the family was living at when we were born. That is definitely in the 7th ward. So I was born a 7th ward baby. You know, my family's from the 7th ward. But we had no control over being taken away and put in foster care. And they accepted Wyatt and Mark coming back, but they didn't accept me and my twin sister coming back. And I don't know how, I'm not sure about Sean, but, you know, foster aunt Mickey and the biological mom Frances, I heard stories about them taking Sean's money. And Ramona taking Sean's money. Exploiting and taking advantage. And my own twin sister, I told y'all about how she would when I was living in New Orleans Tower, she would slander me to my neighbors. And then when she see me, she would try to blackmail me out of money every day. And due to the foster care abuse and being bullied, you know, I always had difficulty standing up for myself. But now, after learning about gang stalking and narcissistic abuse, it helped me to take the power, forget taking power back, power that I never had. You know, taking my power and standing up and being more courageous and fighting back and defending myself. And when I fight back and defend myself, y'all falsely accuse, fake TI perps and regular perps falsely accuse me of being the initial aggressor when I'm actually defending myself. And I've caught Ronald Soriano and other fake TI perps and Monique and all them, you know, falsely talk about that I'm sick and crazy and need to be on medication. Or fake TI perps pretend to be Christian and then they laugh and say that most targeted individuals have mental illness. But well, what makes you think you're so special that you can call yourself to be targeted and falsely glorify yourself as chosen by God? But then they want to say not everybody in the TI community is chosen. Not everybody that's targeted is chosen. Or y'all targeted because y'all mentally ill. Like y'all think y'all better or have y'all some fake superiority complex or something. So let me go. I know it's late. It's the latest I've talked in a long time. So it's 12:26 a.m. in the morning. Let me see something. Okay. So I apologize if I disturbed any neighbors, any hotel neighbors. So I was just venting. And most people don't really care about me, you know. And they have some people who will say that they care, but when I tell them about my targeting, you claim to be a targeted individual as well, or you claim to be a narcissistic abuse survivor as well. And but you shun me and refuse to hear me venting or anything I gotta say. So I'm really scared about being on the streets next week. And selling out is not a solution. I'm not selling my soul or selling out because I'll be damned if I sell out and still be in this predicament. and you've been scammed and robbed me of my soul. I'm not going to let that happen. So, you know, and I heard that that's what this gang stalking is about, that they strip you of everything in hopes that they can corner you, hoping that if they took everything from you, you'll be like, they want you to be, they want you to sell out to them and be begging them for help, but then you'll be more of a slave. When you're a perp, you're more of a slave, you know, because it's like you gotta be follow orders like a puppet and do what you're told. Blindly follow orders and do what you're told. But if you're targeted, you have the freedom to fight against and resist that. You have a fight. I mean, even though you will be tortured and suffering, but you still got the freedom and the free will to keep fighting and resisting. So thanks for listening to me, and I'll see y'all